Well,
connected?
I certainly, it's a corporate responsibility, and I know Dr. Henry Ponda of Fish University really appreciates it, and quite a few of them go to schools right here locally. Tennessee State University, Fish University.
And you've also apprenticeship programs for a number of people. I think you've worked with Upward Bound and several of the other companies dealing with education, have you not?
That's true, that's true. Inroads, and we have a number of opportunities where we train people and they can one day become managers, area directors, regional directors. And again, it's creating an opportunity.
If you had to sort of give some information this morning in terms of how people might become involved with the new covenant that Shoney recently signed with Southern Christian Leadership Conference, what are some of the things that you would say to people who?
Well, you know, if you want to become involved, you need to have someone that you can call and work with, and I would certainly say call Betty Marshall, Vice President of Community Affairs, to determine, you know, the best way, you know, what do you have to offer, what are your goods and services, and we can get you in the door and we can talk about it.
For other corporations that are going through some of the same struggles that Shoney's evidently have overcome, what would you say to them in terms of your franchise program? What are you doing different in terms of providing opportunities for minorities in the franchise area that perhaps you as a financial person can see that other companies are not doing? And what would be your suggestion to them?
Because a number of companies don't have a program at all. Some of the bigger companies, such as McDonald's, I mean, they have a program. But I think it's necessary to overcome that major obstacle of financing. And one way to do it is to, say, guarantee a loan, or guarantee a loan for a specified period, or buy the land and building and lease it. But you certainly need to give help on paying that initial fee, you know, because we're talking about $30,000 for Shoney's, and that's a lot of cash to pay up front. And if you can just simply defer that for a number of years, it really helps. And at the very beginning, if you can just make it the first year or two, then you get established and the cash flow comes in and you're in business.
Now you're talking about an initial outlay of $30,000 for, is that?
Well, the $30,000 would be for a Shoney's. It's less than that for Captain D's or Lee's Famous Recipe.
But a person could, what have you found in terms of people combining their resources to form some kind of corporation or some kind of company?
I think that's the best way. Let's say that one of the best ways to do it, if you could get a group of, say, 4, 5, or 6 people who all get together, combine their resources, and then they go to the bank, and when you put all 5 balance sheets together, they could all go in and buy the land and building
Well,
and help finance it and maybe own part of it, at least part of the real estate. And it's an outstanding return, too.
Very good. And you found that people have been very, very receptive to your ideas in terms of minority franchise.
They sure have.
Well, some of the things, what are some of the other things that you'd like for us to talk about? Because I would, before we end the show, I want to talk about what we call the new Shoney's. I think that one of the things that the newspaper has played up quite recently is that the new Shoney's, in terms of service, in terms of all of the things that make a restaurant great, will be something different. Let's talk about that new Shoney's. What is that new Shoney's?
Let's talk about the new Shoney's. As you know, it's a very, very competitive world out there. And it's a lot different operating in the restaurant business today versus, say, 10 years ago, because a lot of concepts didn't even exist 10 years ago, you know, such as Rally's and Checkers Hamburger and Longhorn Steak, Outback Lone Star, and many companies are like Shoney's. They're opening up quite a number every year. So what we want to do is raise the standards, raise the quality of our restaurants, and I think one of the key ways to do this is through training. And so we just began a new program called SMU, Shoney's Management University. And this coming Sunday, we will have graduated 100 people. We're graduating 20 per week. That's 70 hours of, it's almost like a boot camp training program in 1 week. And they ended up taking a test of about 350 questions. And many of them don't do well the first day when they take the test, but by 7 days later, so far, every one of them passed it.
And so this is all part of simply trying to combine, get some kind of general overall pattern of the quality of things that you like
Now,
to.
training is one part, and we want to have an annual certification of all of our hourly workers. You know, even servers, bus boys, I mean, there's quite a bit you need to know. And so we want to train them, and we actually give them a test every year to make sure they're certified and they know what they're doing. And sometimes we find those who've been doing it the longest sometimes forget some of the details. So it's kind of an annual orientation to bring them back. So we're going to be doing that. We're working right now on an exciting new menu, which we hope to have in effect.
And of course, you can't give us any information about that new menu, can you?
Well, I can tell you that some of my favorite items on there: turnip greens,
oh, so
pinto beans.
Okay, they've got a new menu that
we're going to have 14 to 15 different vegetables.
Now, how does that fit
With
into
cornbread, by the way? We don't have cornbread right now. We will.
Well, how does that fit into the menu that you currently have? I mean, you've got the salad bar and...
Well, we have the breakfast bar is the biggest item on the menu, and that's about 24% of sales, and the salad bar is about 12%. And we have probably another 90 to 100 items, but we find that a lot of people like country-style dinners, the kind we used to have at home with good old vegetables and a lot of non-fried items, such as the turnip greens and cornbread and pinto beans and corn. And so we're bringing that back, and a lot of country-style platters.
And so all of these will be part of the new Shoney's.
The new Shoney's, which we expect to roll out about the 1st of September. And I'll tell you something else we're going to do. We're going to have a major remodeling program. We're going to borrow a sizable amount of money and probably remodel some 150 to 175 restaurants in the next 12 to 18 months. And normally we remodel 40 or 50 a year, and we're going to probably not 50 a year, but maybe 200, 250.
So you've got a very accelerated.
Accelerated, that's right.
And you expect this to attract more customers? And
I think it will attract. I think the combination of better trained workforce and new menu items that are exciting with the, and I think when you remodel a restaurant, the employees love it. You know, it motivates them, they're excited, they come in and they have a new pie shop and new carpeting, and it's been freshly painted, and it's got a new look, and they have more pride when they come to work every day.
Now, who pays for the remodeling of these?
Well, we pay for it.
It's just paid for by the company. Even though a person might own a franchise, the company...
We take practically all of our profits and put it right back in the restaurants. You know, we don't pay any dividends, so we take all of our cash flow after we pay taxes, all of our expenses, and put them back and refurbish the restaurants, keep them in first-class condition, and to the extent that we have money left, we build new restaurants.
Now, if a person wanted to become involved in Shoney's today,